Hello. Going through this apparent process of the collapse of the self can be utterly confusing and disorienting if you haven't noticed. And we have the freedom to tell stories about why that is or how that is. Even though the stories don't really represent truth, but it's the best thing we have to orient and navigate as these humans. So we can say the reason why this is so disorienting at times and confusing is because there's a crumbling of the structure of belief that we relied on for most of our lives. Ever since we were children, we had this conceptual structure that helped us move through the world and so-called manipulate ourselves and others and the world. And this comforted us. We felt like we could plan and strategize and learn and become better in some way. This conceptual belief structure is like a comfort blanket. We ruminate in our minds and fantasize and think about how it's going to be or how it could be. It could be better than it was before. And all of this happens here, now, in the present moment. And it gives us a sense of control and comfort. And we can become dissociated, and we can become sort of addicted to this conscious space, this space of fantasy, this place of projection, naturally. And we can almost never remember a time when it wasn't this way, when we were small children, what it was like to just be in free flow and not rely on the mind to be relevant and to give us information and to help us navigate. And the reason why this apparent journey is so disorienting and confusing at times is because we are moving away from this conceptual structure. We are beginning to see through it, to see it for what it is, and to see that it isn't really a source of information like we thought. It's very practical, and it's an amazing tool for certain things that are practical, like making plans to make a birthday party, or making calculations at work, or it's good for so many things. But there's this whole realm of things that it can't touch. Uh, it pretends to be autonomous. It pretends to be an entity that's making choices. And this illusion and delusion is very, very convincing. because most human beings believe this. They believe in the autonomy of self, of this psychological structure. And we are orienting to the primordial intelligence, the intelligence that is not conceptual, that is not in fantasy and planning and stories and manipulating. And this primordial intelligence includes all those things. It includes memory, stories, thoughts, knowledge, planning. It includes all those things. Those things can always arise at any time, anywhere on the path. They're free to arise always, even for so-called awake people. But we are orienting away from that structure, that conceptual structure, as an end-all, be-all model of truth, a place to go to guide me, to orient me and help me to make this what I want it to be. Me, this life, others. To make this moment in the future, it's going to be better, you know. We're always reaching for that moment that we fantasize about that isn't this. When this practical conceptual structure runs amok and goes awry and becomes neurotic, because it's not meant for things like that. It's not meant to know, to truly understand what this is, how this is, and existential questions like that. Who am I? You know. But life is automatic. The seasons come and go, animals react, we react because we are animals, you know. You can look at nature and see the automatic nature of it and how the intelligence is inherent. You know, if somebody jumps out from the shadow and scares you, your body's going to react without you having to think about it. That's the inherent intelligence, you know, that which lives life. Not this idea of I, which is nothing more than a thought, a very persistent, convincing thought that's fleeting and comes and goes depending on what state you're in. You know, it's not there when we go to sleep. But this is as confusing and disorienting as it may be to reorient back to this flow of intelligence that life is, and a pulling of the interest away from the conceptual structure of relevant information that isn't relevant unless it's practical. Even though that this is disorienting and confusing and can feel intense because we are orienting to be more what we are, what this is. And what this is can be intense sensations and emotions that we went to thought before to protect ourselves from. We dissociated before to run away and to repress and deny what's actually here, which are maybe feelings of shame or fear or you name it. This is just seeing through beliefs in such a way that they are no longer beliefs. They're just energy popping up randomly, regurgitated symbols and sounds. The coping survival mechanism of mind to try to protect us from trauma and the intensity of how the body can feel when we're triggered. But it may feel utterly overwhelming and confusing at times. And all of these states pass. They all come and go, as all states do. So, do whatever is obvious to do for the body right now. Taking a nap, taking a break from non-duality stuff. Watch some Netflix or something, We've been through a lot. Sometimes we need a break. Sometimes we need a distraction from the incessant nature of the mind when it's believed in, It can feel like the psychological self is flailing in death throes when it starts to be seen through, when the interest starts to shift from analyzing life and trying to dissect it and know it as if it could be known. To just this, whatever's happening, whatever's arising right now. And thoughts are a part of that. And so is the body and the environment. Anything can arise. This is the beginning of not running away to the past, to the future. Because nothing's there. Everything is here. This immediate aliveness. So it's natural and normal to not feel okay during this process. So if you can, just be kind to yourself. This isn't easy at times. I love y'all. Thank you so much. I'm so glad y'all watched me ramble. Okay. Thank you. Love you.